Hello, today I want to talk about self-help tips, what not to do. My name's Ryan Tate. Now, it's important to not get overwhelmed. If we're after self-help and wanting to improve ourselves, we often go out, and I'm a victim of doing this myself. We go out and we look at everything that's out there. We try and absorb as much information as possible, and it's very easy to have a feeling of overwhelm when you're reading this book, you're listening to this podcast, you're listening to this audio, and it may all be different subjects, and it's very easy to feel that overwhelm of I want to improve this aspect and all these different aspects in our life. So I think it's key to not get too caught up in that. Don't have that overwhelm. Very few people take action, so feel good if you are actually taking in information in the self-help arena and you're actually taking TFMA, taking massive action, because you're running rings around any other people out there. It's over 90% of people don't actually take any action. And if you're at seminars, often you'll bump into the same people and they're talking about a project that they want to start, and bump into them again perhaps 12 months later and they haven't even started that project. So it's key to actually implement what you're learning. That's a huge part, and I'm not coming from a space of lecturing here. I'm coming from a space of doing it myself in the past and wanting to help as many people as I can. So lose that analysis paralysis. Don't be that seminar junkie, and actually put it into action, and you'll find it changes everything. So there's a lot of conflicting information out there as well. Let's use weight loss as an example. If you're wanting to lose some weight, you go out and you see someone's talking about the Paleo Diet, the next lady's talking about ketogenic diet, the next bloke's talking about eating like rabbit food for the next month, the soup diet, and you think to yourself, who do I believe? So it's important to really, once you have taken or absorbed some of that information, to actually think what rung true with yourself, and then go out with a strategic plan and think to yourself, well, what do I want to put my time and energy into for the next, say, 3 or 4 weeks, and actually try that without having that shiny objects syndrome, where you narrow your focus down, have a laser focus on that 1 or 2 things that you're wanting to implement in your life, and not deviating off path and looking at different things that are out there. So I believe that mastery has been overlooked in a place where we have so much information around us now, that mastery, you think of Leonardo da Vinci, Bruce Lee, Thomas Edison. These people had a laser focus. Bruce Lee even had a quote, and I won't get it right, but he said, virtually you're better to learn 1 kick and practice that 10,000 times than know 1,000 kicks that you practice 2 or 3 times. So really narrowing that focus down and having that sense of mastering something really well is really important, I feel. So don't be on the pain train either. Don't be hard on yourself, be gentle on yourself. If you fall off the wagon, let's say, New Year's Eve is a good, New Year's resolution is a good example, where we decide that we want to do X, Y, Z. Perhaps it's give up smoking. We want to exercise every morning, get up earlier. I'm going to get up every morning at 6 a.m. and exercise every day. I'm going to stop the smoking. I'm going to meditate for 10 minutes minimum every single day. Making a list of 8 or 10 things, and then beating yourself up because in 8 days you've only completed 1 or 2 a day. So really important, I think, with that example, say, I want to give up the smoking, I'm definitely going to do that, and I'm going to get up earlier each day, and if I have the energy, I'm going to exercise as well, and I'm going to do that for a fortnight. And then Friday comes around, you have a few drinks after work, and you end up having 1 or 2 cigarettes. Don't be too hard on yourself. Yes, you slipped up, but Saturday morning's a new day. Get up early again, if you're not too hungover, and do a little bit of exercise. Maybe do that 10 minutes of meditation and reflect on how well you've done for the rest of the week. So not being hard on yourself is a really, really important aspect, I feel. Be gentle on yourself, reward yourself. There's actually a book called Don't Shoot the Dog, and that talks about how negative implementation, or whatever you want to call it, that negative telling off a dog, and it works with humans just the same. It talks about that in the book as well, that you're better coming from a positive reinforcement place to get results. If you're rubbing the dog's nose in it, you're throwing it outside, kicking it in the pants as you send it outside, it just is a negative spiral. So you're actually better rewarding the dog or the person if you're wanting to get results. Positive feeds more positive. So, think about a baby learning to walk. When it falls over, you don't yell and scream at it. You go the other way generally. When it takes a few steps, everyone cheers, makes a big fuss, big smiles all around, and that just, you feel it in the baby's face. They're just proud of themselves, proud as punch, and they do better. They end up walking a lot quicker, so positive reinforcement, and do it with yourself as well. Your self-talk is really, really important. So make sure what you're talking to yourself about is positive things, and really pat yourself on the back, especially if you're trying to implement positive things and doing the self-help in your life. Make sure that if you are implementing good things, that you do pat yourself on the back. And start with the foundation that you are enough. Our chances of coming into this world it's more chance of winning the lotto than being born into this world, and I can tell you for a fact you're in a better position than billions of people in this world. The fact that you're here, and there's a lot of people that are in a lot worse position than you, I guarantee it. Especially if you're on the internet now watching us, there's a lot of people that are in a very, very bad position. So when doing self-help, come from a position of you're expanding yourself and bettering yourself, not I should do self-help to be a better person because I'm not a good person. That's really important. So have that positive view around self-help as well, and realise that it's exciting, that we're bettering ourselves, we're learning things, and hopefully taking MFA, big action. So there's 6 things that we strive for in life. Certainty or security, uncertainty, having that variation, that spice of life. Significance, so working towards being someone to the rest of the world, and making a difference. Connection and love. Growth, so talking about self-help, that growth side of things. And contribution. And if you think about balancing plates, that you see it on, or you may have seen it on stage, where someone has got sticks and they're balancing several plates, and they've got to spin each plate to keep them all going. And the real skill in that is being able to keep all those plates going at the same time. If you concentrate on the one plate, the others will all fall away. And the analogy there is you need to focus on really different aspects in your life, and especially if you're wanting to improve. So if I reverse that and put it into context, I really have looked up to, wealthy people in the past, and then when you spend a great deal more time with them, you realise that, yes, they've got a fantastic home and they've got those cars that you would absolutely love, but their relationship is not the best, or their health is really terrible. They have some really terrible habits perhaps. So watch who you model yourself on. Realize that life it needs balance, and there's plenty of cases where people have got that financial success, they've worked their butts off for a decade, and they've got to buy all the things that they want, all those material things, and have the freedom and everything that's fantastic as well in life, but they're perhaps lonely or feeling depression or lost the relationships that are so important to them. So really key to have a focus on a balance in our life and making sure that, I mean, health for me is a huge one. And as I say, I have, I've been a smoker in the past. Occasionally, if I'm very drunk, now I'll want a cigarette and I may have one and regret it straight away. The third puff after, think, what am I doing? So, it's, but don't beat yourself up. Just, it's good to have that self-discipline. I'm going to do plenty of content on self-discipline. It's something I'm really trying to implement into my life, especially around being organised and time. I find my time, the management of time is really lacking in my life, and I'm often rushing around, and I wish I wasn't. So that's something that I really want to work on. So, and please drop a comment below. I'd love to know your thoughts. Not here to lecture. I do want to help other people. So if you've got any insight on self-help tips, what not to do, what you've had success with, what you perhaps haven't had success with, what you've fallen down in the past around different aspects in your life, I would really love to hear your comments as well. And I will make a commitment to answer anyone that does comment. So I appreciate you being on here. The quickest way to kill something you love is comparing it to something else. So talking about that balance side of things, I think we strive for significance in life a lot of the time, and comparing ourselves to others that maybe seem more significant or in a particular field, and we think, I wish I was as influential as that person. But it's important to realize what we have our strengths around and not get caught up comparing ourselves to other people. I think that's a really important part, not to have a major focus on significance, have it good focus on relationships, on our health and that sort of thing as well. So going back to looking at role models, if we think about, say, Robin Williams, Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, these people had a major focus on their goal and got to the top, household names that everyone knows, but end up taking their life because another aspect in their life is not the best. So just remember that. Remember who you aspire to, who your role models are, and you might have a role model in a different aspect. Someone may be really great around relationships and connection or communication. You might want to have that person as a role model in that aspect of your life, and then someone may be very clever around long-term investment and being wise with their money. Perhaps look at that person. So really do think about who you want to take your advice from, and be mindful of that. And the last thing I want to talk about, and again I appreciate you being on, is the hustle mentality. It's important to perhaps have that hustle, that drive, that lack of sleep, whatever it might be to get the job done, but also make sure that you block out time in your calendar for the important things in life as well. And again, something I've been a victim of doing. I can sit here all day and work and not put the time aside with my kids or my partner, and it's really important to really do that. So I'm early in my journey. I am in that hustle stage, but it's important to
to have that hustle and have that drive and grit, but also to block out time to enjoy life as well. Work hard, play hard. So again, thank you for jumping on. I really do appreciate you. My name's Ryan Billy Tate, and yeah, I'd love you to subscribe to my channel and leave any comments, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon. Thank you very much.